I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Donald Trump is absolutely terrified to show up for his deposition that was noticed by Michael Cohen in a case where Donald Trump sued Michael Cohen for $500 million in federal court in the Southern District of Florida. It's clearly a PR stunt done by Donald Trump and also done to try to not only intimidate Michael Cohen, but other potential witnesses against Donald Trump. So Donald Trump can act like a big, tough, litigious guy and say, look, if you are going to testify against me, I'm going to sue you for $500 million in federal court. But Michael Cohen's a fighter. And Michael Cohen says, look, you sued me. I want your deposition and I want you to produce records and I'm ready to go right away. So Michael Cohen set Donald Trump's deposition for September 6th. Donald Trump tried to squirm out of it, as he often tries to do, but the judge finally compelled Donald Trump to sit for a deposition within a certain period of time. The parties agreed to a deposition date of September 6th, and Donald Trump will be required to turn over records on September 3rd before the deposition. So in a very short period of time, Donald Trump will be turning over these records. But Donald Trump's lawyers on the eve of this deposition are apparently not responding to Michael Cohen's lawyers. And Michael Cohen's lawyer, for example, one of them lives in New York, Adanya Perry, and she's like, should I show up? Is he going to be there? Donald Trump's lawyers previously filed motions when trying to block this deposition of saying, oh, this could cause embarrassment or harm Donald Trump's reputation. And apparently Donald Trump's lawyers have just gone like radio silent. And it doesn't sound like the greatest legal strategy to me of ghosting your opposing counsel that you're suing in a $500 million federal lawsuit. But that's what happens when you bring these frivolous cases, and especially against people who are going to fight for their reputation and fight against these frivolous cases like Michael Cohen is. So we have the exclusive interview with Michael Cohen, who talks about what's going down with this deposition, as well as a new order by the federal judge Gals in the case. And so let me toss it over to Cohen, my co-host from Political Beatdown, who can tell you about this exclusive. Cohen, take it away.
As you may remember, because you were the first to know, Donald is expected to appear for a deposition transcribed and videoed on September 6th. And the question was whether or not he was going to show up as a direct result of the September 6th arraignment. Well, now that he's waived the arraignment, it is expected that he will show up. However, we still have not received confirmation from his counsel that he is going to show up. If in fact that he doesn't, it's back to court for more motion practice, unnecessary. Again, what does it do? It just jumps up the legal expense. This is what he likes to do. He bleeds you out dry, probably because he's not even paying Brito in the first place, or he got him for some ridiculous low price. I don't know what it is, but this is the game that Donald is going to play.
So, Cohen, are your lawyers reaching out to Trump's lawyers and saying, hey, this deposition's going, and right now what you're telling the brigade is that Trump's lawyers are basically ignoring your lawyers?
So far that he has not responded back. We are awaiting confirmation. I will tell you some additional information that came out approximately an hour or so ago. The judge ruled on that motion regarding the information and the classification of the information. The judge in the case was very Solomonian. He provided us the better half of the body, so to speak, in this. Donald can mark certain things as classified or for a gag onto it. However, they do have to then provide an explanation to the court as to why they believe that it is. If we challenge, he's been warned that they cannot put classification on each and every document that they were due to have already provided to us. I'm going to get to the real Keppa on this. You guys are going to love this. So he cannot mark everything classified or gagged, so to speak. That's the judge has already warned them not to do. And because we have now been waiting for our discovery documents, and the court had mandated that they provide it, the documents must be turned over by September 3rd, which means, of course, that that's Sunday night during this Labor Day weekend. I don't believe, and again, it's my personal opinion, I think the judge was absolutely appropriate in making this decision, considering the games that Brito and Trump have been playing literally since day number one. I have a right to defend this case. This is not, despite the fact everyone believes, or most, if not all pundits believe, that this was retaliatory, that it's a frivolous lawsuit. Nevertheless, I want to remind people that it is a lawsuit for $500 million. And nothing that comes from Trump's camp, especially when you're talking about numbers such as this, should ever be taken lightly. And so we're not. I have Ben Brodsky on the case. I have Danya Perry on the case. And they are, Lillian Timmerman is on the case as well from Danya's office. And they are reaching out and they are doing everything that can possibly be done in order to move this case forward, which, as you know, Ben, is interesting because it is generally expected that the plaintiff is the one who's pushing the case forward, not the defendant. We want certain documents. We need certain information in order to, provide the defense, and obviously defense will be a motion to dismiss. That's what we need. He cannot take the fifth across the board. You may remember that he made an allegation, his lawyer made the allegation on his behalf that he cannot answer series of questions because it would be violative of his Fifth Amendment constitutional right against self-incrimination, information that could potentially be used in other actions that he's currently indicted upon. I mean, this whole case is wackadoodle, to use a legal expression. I mean, it is just wackadoodle. He certainly, neither was his counsel thinking when they decided to file this action. They had to understand that I wasn't cutting a check for $500 million, that this case would have to be defended. And one way to defend the case is you depose the plaintiff. So he knew that he was going to be deposed. So you have to start to say to yourself, well, then why did he do it? Well, we know that he fundraised off of it, and he also made a massive splash in the media for it. And on top of that, again, why is he doing the clips? Everything is very circular with Donald. Why is he doing these clips? Because he needs to get something off of his chest. He was so angry that I testified to the grand jury, which ultimately resulted in the first indictment against him. He was so angry about that he needed to strike back. And the way that he was going to strike back is through a lawsuit. And the lawsuit is for, $500 million. So this isn't like something you could take lightly at all. It was meant to make a splash. It was meant to sort of show that he's, a litigious, tough guy, and that he was going to set the record straight. And one way, of course, is by demanding such a massive amount of money to be paid based upon my conduct, which, again, is this whole case is just retaliatory.
And there you have it, folks. We'll keep you updated as we learn more about the scheduling of this deposition. Keep checking in MeidasTouch.com for more breaking news. And wherever you get audio podcasts, make sure you subscribe to the Political Beatdown podcast. All right, check out MeidasTouch.com for more.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.